This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Joining us today is Dennis Edmonds, the CEO of Kazera Global, following news that the suspension imposed on the company that was pending the publication of the company's audited accounts has been lifted today. So welcome back. Dennis, how are you doing, first of all?
I'm very good, thank you, Mark. It's great to be back. And
of course,
it's also great to be back from suspension.
Indeed, yes. Well, it's not nice being suspended, is it? But as I understand, it was something that was sort of out of your control. But you're back on the market now, back trading today. Yeah,
we had a number of issues getting information out of Namibia. That obviously pushed back the whole audit process. And once you're being pushed back out of the ordinary pipeline, things take longer, and it's longer than we'd hoped. But delighted to be back.
Indeed. Well, of course, as part of the RNS this morning, it's a very, very long and detailed RNS, 40 pages, I think I counted there, but we'll just go through the main points, really. The first one I want to pick up on is your new strategic shareholder, that's African Mineral Sands Pte Ltd, based in Singapore, taking 29% of the company. So that's a huge stake. So what can you tell us any more about this strategic shareholder?
Yeah, they're buying the shares which were previously held by Align Research and Richard Jennings. Align and Richard have been really good supportive shareholders for a long time in the company. But the new strategic investor, I think, and it's hard to speak for somebody else, but their money probably speaks for itself, have come in on the basis of their interest in the heavy mineral sands, and their interest in introducing to the company various other projects. They have extensive interests in a number of different areas, and we are hoping to see some very, very exciting investment opportunities as a result of their investment.
Okay. That sounds good. I also note that you've actually had a sale of your African Tantalum project to a Chinese company. So you're actually going to raise some money there, sort of just under $3 million US that'll bring into the company.
Well, the actual sale price is 13 million plus a 2.5% effective royalty. Of that, we've already received 3 million. The buyer is slightly behind in terms of where they're supposed to be in terms of making payments. But we're pretty relaxed. We have more cash than we need at the moment. And we retain the right at any stage, if we wanted to cancel the agreement and to take back the shares. So we're in a very much a no-risk win-win situation. But they're struggling a little bit in terms of getting money out of China for all the obvious reasons. But we're satisfied that they're doing their very best. This latest payment of $687,000 is an indication of that. And the fact they've put in 3 million already is a strong indication of the fact they wouldn't want to be walking away from it. So we're very...
Indeed, yeah. Well, that's a lot of money to potentially come through then. So that will really help shore up the company's finances, won't it? And in theory, then go into some of the projects that you've got running, which we'll come on into a moment. But you're fairly happy with the deal there, despite there might be problems getting the money out of China?
Yeah, on the basis we've already received 3 million, they're very conscious of the fact that they owe us money and they've got to pay it for the. And they're very conscious of the fact that we could just take the company back. So it's a great deal. It's a really, really good deal, I think, in the current market to have a company which has right now got more cash than it needs, with more cash coming in. Lots of opportunities arise out of that.
Yes, indeed. Good. Well, I remember when we spoke for the first time in London, you basically said this was the model of the business, to do work on projects and effectively sell them on. So this is an example of that working absolutely to the book.
Correct. I think there are lots of companies who talk it, but yeah, it's nice to have been able to deliver on a strategy.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about a couple of the other projects then. Let's start with Deep Blue Minerals. You talk in the RNS there about a new plant being completed for the diamond mining operation, and new blocks granted that will give you access to a further 28,000 carats of diamonds. So again, I mean, this is pretty significant, isn't it? That's a lot of diamonds there.
It is. I mean, everything on the diamond side has been on hold simply because we've been focusing on the heavy mineral sands and getting the process up. Because when we mine heavy mineral sands, those sands go through, a large proportion of them, go through the diamond separation plant to extract any diamonds out of them. Putting heavy mineral sands through an ordinary diamond plant is problematic because the sands are so heavy in relation to ordinary sand. Ordinarily, when you're doing diamond separation, you're separating out sand, which is a fraction of the specific gravity of diamonds. With heavy mineral sands, that isn't the case anymore. So it is complicated procedure. We've got it now sorted out. We've now very happy with the way that the diamond operation is working. And we expect to see some really, really positive results in the next couple of months.
Excellent. And these diamonds are going to market. Are they? They're actually generating revenue for you?
They will be. So what we'll be doing is all our diamonds are sold by Alexkor because we subcontract mine under Alexkor's license. And the model is that Alexkor will organize and sell all the diamonds at auction. But yeah, we'll be very pleased with where we are. We have a great big stockpile of diamonds. So if you like, we've got a whole bunch of money in the bank sitting in the form of diamond gravel.
Excellent. And at some point, you will be able to release figures on that, I presume.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with diamonds is quite difficult to guesstimate what you've got until you've actually measured them, because you can go through lovely looking gravel and it might have very few diamonds, and you can go through gravel which doesn't look particularly lovely and it's full of diamonds. But we know that we're working in very good areas, and initial tests are really, really positive. So we're very confident of where we stand with our diamonds at the moment.
Well, let's finish on the heavy mineral sands project then. The RNS mentions that new equipment has been ordered at the Valviskop heavy mineral sands project to allow for extraction and sale of the product. So what's the latest here? I know this is what you're most excited about, isn't it, with the company?
Yeah, Mark, it's very much, it's the company maker. It will transform Kazira within, we believe, 6 months to a year from being a nice little company with some good prospects into something that's generating some really, really big revenues. We have, on the basis of the payments we've received from our purchaser of the project in Namibia, we have now been able to proceed with purchasing machinery specifically built to enable us to separate out the ilmenite and the garnet, which are the two main components of our heavy mineral sands. So we'll be able to separate out the silica and then sell a concentrate consisting essentially of ilmenite and garnet, a little bit of zircon. And that there will have a substantial value compared to what we currently have. And it will be a relatively inexpensive process that will all be conducted on the beach. And we have we've got 4 different prospective buyers with whom we're in discussions right now. I would expect there to be lots more coming out the woodwork. But any discussions can only be finalized once we actually have the heavy mineral sands plant in place and we are separating out, and so we can actually prove what the quality of the concentrate is. But we are very, very happy with where we are at the moment.
And what are your timescales for actually getting this in operation and then proving up what you have there to be able to make those sales?
The new plant will take 4 months to be built. We ordered it a couple of weeks ago. And then we're relying another 2 months to get it into operation and to get things working properly. In the interim, we've purchased a double-decker screen, which will improve the quality of the heavy mineral sands from the current quality, which is 49.9%. And we have one of the prospective purchasers is looking for samples, fairly big samples, but they need those to be over 65%. So that's the short-term goal at the moment. So that will meet that requirement, but the screen will then be used actually in the heavy mineral sand stroke diamond processing arm of the company.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you very much for that update, Dennis. I hope we can catch up fairly regularly as things happen, certain milestones are met on the projects there. But for now, Dennis Edmonds, the CEO of Kazera Global, thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.